guys, what is going on? Blossoms back. Welcome back to an episode of Sound Drives. Now, in yesterday's video, we were talking about, how we adapt when the meta changes, okay? Look, there are two ways that you can approach a situation in something like this. You can complain that your BMW M5 is basically unusable now, or you can just adapt to the situation, okay? And that's what we're going to try and do, all right? We're going to look at the bright side. We're going to be optimistic about things. The meta is changing, cars are going up and down, and today was going to be a video dedicated to super rares on the best super rares for, I don't want to say each track in the game, but we're going to be covering a lot today, and we're going to be seeing what are the top 3 cars for many of the track sets that we're going to encounter while playing Top Drive. So with that being said, feel free to get yourself a cup of milk, a glass of milk, sit down, relax, and let's get into it. Okay, cameras off, and we're getting straight into the business, ladies and gentlemen. Now, on the thumbnail, you can see a Pontiac Firebird Trans Am. I'll tell you right now, the Pontiac Firebird Trans Am, to my knowledge, is not any top 3. It's not in the top 3 of any tracks that I tested. It's just such a cool car, and it's one of the coolest super rares, that, the Superbird. So Superbird is actually some of the best, so we'll get into that. Now, before we get further into the video, I want to give you guys a massive disclaimer, okay? The results that you see on screen, the results that I'm presenting to you right now, is based off Top Drive's records, and is based off when I took those results yesterday evening, okay? So things might change, right? Everything is live, maybe someone finds another car that they tested, and that might be the new next best thing. But as far as I know, what I can tell you is that I'm confident that these are the best cars that are currently for these track sets for January 31st 2025. Okay, if things change after this, that might happen, but I'm just letting you know that's the disclaimer. Also, one other thing, for some of the more rare track sets like Deal's Gap that you can't find the single player, there might be a smaller sample size, so the cars might be a little different, right, from what you might know of. But anyway, let's get into it. Top 3 of, I think I have 70 track sets. I'm not joking, 70 track sets showing the top 3, okay? So City Street's medium, you want to use the Renault Sport Clio 220 at 323. The second best option is a 233, and the third best option is a Ford Focus RS at 323. So basically, if you ever encounter a City Street's medium, maybe super rare 5 times clubs or anything like that, if you want to save some RQ, the Renault Sport Clio is going to be a great car to use. Now, moving on to City Street's small, it's a little bit different because not every player will have the opportunity of getting the Buick GNX. Buick GNX 233 is the way to go, even though it has gotten a nerf. If you remember back in the day, OGs remember the GNX had like 85 handling, but now it's 82. Also, the 323 version is the second best, where the 323 Sport Clio is going to be the best non-prize, or the third best in general. So if you're looking for a really reliable city medium, now that the Mustang GT convertible has gone up to ultra rare, there really isn't much, to compete with the Renault Sport Clio anymore. So now it's basically the best for city, medium, and small if you take out prize cars. Moving on, Twisty Circuit. We've got the Hyundai i30N Project C. You want to get that in as 323. It actually beats the 233 version. And the third best option is the Vauxhall VX220. Now, I was very surprised to find out that the Vauxhall VX220 shows up a lot. And I mean, it shows up a lot. It's a car where I thought, oh yeah, it's pretty good, but I didn't know it was going to be that good. And I think the main reason for this is because the Porsche Taycan has moved up from a super rare to an ultra rare. And the Vauxhall is basically replacing a lot of the tracks where the Taycan was the best in. So we'll be seeing a lot of that Vauxhall in all kinds of different configurations. We've got Twisty Circuit Rolling now. Twisty Circuit Rolling, it's exactly the same. Same results, everything. You want to use the Hyundai, so if you need to use the Twisty Circuit, go for the Hyundai i30 at 323. All right, moving on to G-Force. Here's a car that we will see very often as well, the Lotus Elise Sprint at 223. That's the way to go. Second best option is the Lotus Elise Sprint at 323, and then third best is the Jannetta at 233. Now, moving on to G-Force in the wet, it's all kind of color-coded. I mean, we were talking about the off-road stuff, the background be brown, and all that kind of stuff. Anyway, G-Force wet, best cars, Caterham Super 7 at 233 over 323. I have 8 fully upgraded Super 7s. all of them are 323. So there is some value to get a 233 version if you want to get it. If I get a 9th, then I'll go 233, sure. And then obviously if the Caterham 7160, that will be a pretty decent option as well. I'm actually very interested, I'm very intrigued and surprised that a 233 is the way to go, especially for a wet track set. I guess things like that do happen. Moving on, Monaco Hairpin. Okay, here we go. Pontiac Solstice, another car where, you know, I didn't expect it to win anything, but then again, you know, there was a power vacuum, right? When the Taycan moved up, there was a huge power vacuum. The Taycan was like the best hybrid RQ49 that you could use. So now I got the Pontiac Solstice GXP taking its place at 323. 233 is the second best version, and again we see the Vauxhall VX220 being second best here. Now here's the thing that I think is very interesting. I do believe that if a 323 Vauxhall VX220 was tested, there might be a chance where the 323 might be better than the 233, but I don't think it was tested. But anyway, the Solstice is the way to go here. Okay, moving on to Tokyo Bridge. Ladies and gentlemen, I want you guys to remember this guy, the BMW 640D, because I will tell you right now, this guy is a menace, an absolute menace. We'll be seeing it a lot. 332 is the way to go on Tokyo Bridge. It is a bit of a drag. It is a pseudo drag, but you know, not the best place for a Lamborghini Miura Roadster or just a Miura. So you need a little bit of handling. And you need MRA. So the 640D is like 89 MRA. So 332 is the way to go. Buick Blackhawk. This is one of the only outliers that you will see in this video when we talk about the best of the best. That is RQ41. That is the second best on Tokyo Bridge at 332, beating out the RQ49 Aston Martin DBAR1. Funny thing is, 640D, DBAR1, both those super rares that we see in front of us used to be ultra rares back like what, 2.5 years ago. Now moving on, Tokyo off-ramp. Yes, now we have a Vauxhall VX220 at the top at 233. That's the way to go. Second best is 323, and then with the BMW 640D at 233. Moving on with the Tokyo stuff, Tokyo Overpass. You know, I really don't know sometimes the difference between Tokyo Bridge, Tokyo off-ramp, Tokyo Overpass. I tell myself that Tokyo Bridge is basically a drag. Tokyo off-ramp, Tokyo Overpass, that's a little bit harder for me to remember what the difference between the two are. But basically 640D, Tokyo Overpass, just use the BMW. If you really don't want to memorize things, I guess if I had to simplify it to its true basics, if you encounter a Tokyo event, a Tokyo track, and you need to use super rare, just use the 640D. It's either going to be the best or one of the best, right? 640D, 233, best way to go. Also tied with the 323, that's tied for first place. And of course, we've got the 332, which is also the second best option, or I guess the third best option, because there's the 323 and the 233. Yeah, this is a great car, 640D. You want to get, you know, this car in many different configurations if you can. Now, moving on, Monaco narrow streets. Lotus Elise Sprint 233, followed by Lotus Elise Sprint 323, and then we've got the Ginetta G40. It seems like wherever the Ginetta is like third place, the Lotus Elise is going to be first. I don't think there's any scenario where the Ginetta G40 is going to be first place, because as long as it competes with the Lotus Elise, the Elise is going to be slapping it around everywhere. But I guess the Ginetta is 48 and the Lotus Elise is 49. So that's actually, you know, balanced, I would say. Moving on, Monaco narrow streets long, a little bit different because of that little drag at the end. The Infiniti Q60 Sport, which is also the best hairpin car in the game for super rare, is the best option at 233. Then you've got the Infiniti Q60 Sport at 323, and then you've got the Vauxhall VX220 at 233. Now, moving on, Monaco hairpin. Again, it's the Pontiac Solstice that takes the cake, and then you've got the Vauxhall VX220 again coming in at third place. So you got 323, 233, and 233 versions of the car. Okay, moving on to Monaco hairpin wet. Now, for Monaco hairpin wet, we've got the Hyundai Leffe Rouge. Again, you'll be seeing this car often. 323 is the way to go, followed by a 233, and then by a 332. And this tells me many things. One of the things that it tells me is that super rare standard tire cars are pretty freaking incompetent. Or that the Monaco hairpin is just a predominantly four-wheel drive heavy track set, or the Hyundai Leffe Rouge is overpowered. I'm actually really surprised that this thing went down in RQ, went from 49 to 48. This thing is very strong. Honestly, it really is. I mean, it could be an RQ51. Honestly, I don't think it should be a 53, but like a 51, like I can definitely see that. This is a great car. Tokyo Off-Ramp is up next. The Mitsubishi Tarmac Spider is the best. I guess Off-Ramp is a little bit more MRA based. The Mitsubishi Tarmac Spider has a little bit more MRA, even though it's a little lower 0 to 60 and handles worse. Doesn't matter. 323, better version. I tested this one myself because I couldn't really believe it. The Tarmac actually gets the time that that is listed on Top Dress Records. Lefty Rouge 323, and then 223 in third and second place. Now we've got Buttes. Okay, so for Buttes, we've got the Ram 1500. Then we've got the Lefty Rouge, for crying out loud, just sitting there in between two all-surface tire cars. I don't know if that is actually true, but according to Top Drive's records, the Hyundai Lefty Rouge is the second best one. I mean, you can always test it yourself if you like, and I can always test it myself if I like, but I just feel like I've already spent like a couple of hours putting all these slides together. I don't need to test it out. I'm just going to trust Top Drive's records on this one. Nissan Murano Cross Cabriolet comes in third place at 323 as well. Basically, if you encounter a Butte, it looks like the classic Warlock is the way to go. Moving on, Canyon Butte. Same thing, same winner, classic Warlock at 323. This is one of the few super rares that used to be an ultra rare. So this one's gonna be pretty useful. If you get this one from a pack, maybe the 100 super rare pack, it might be worth saving 12,500 to keep this in your garage. You got the Skoda Octavia Scout, or spending the 12,500, not saving, spending. Skoda Octavia comes in second. Nissan Murano Cross Cabriolet comes in third. I gotta say, the Skoda Octavia used to be 49. It's gone down to 48, and rightly so, because this thing is not winning anything. It really isn't winning anything. Canyon Butte is next. Oh yeah, so we've had, okay, so look, let's look at Canyon, we have Butte, we have Canyon Butte Dirt Wet. This is Canyon Butte Sand. So that completely changes again. Mitsubishi Pajero, we're going to be seeing this car a lot, especially for snow conditions. Blazer comes in second. Ram 2500 comes in third. Then we've got Deals Gap. Okay, so Deals Gap, a little bit of an anomaly here. It's the Jaguar XJS. I thought it was going to go to that Vauxhall VX220, and if not, I thought it was going to go to like the Hyundai i30. I mean, the Hyundai i30 is third, but it seems like the Jaguar XJS is the one that takes the cake, maybe because of the MRA, and it handles very well. I'm not sure, because the Lotus Sprint has the same amount of handling, lower 0 to 60, I think, but like, it's nowhere near. It's nowhere near the top 3. So anyway, Deals Gap, if you ever encounter that, just go for a Jaguar XJS. Deals Gap Wet, you'd be going for a Hyundai Tucson, and then we've got the Hyundai again, Lefty Rouge, and then the Subaru Legacy. I was very surprised, a little bit sussed out to the point where I did do some personal testing, but the RQ49 Subaru Legacy didn't win anything that I tested, which is interesting. I thought that car was really damn good. Okay, moving on. Forest Road. We've got the Vauxhall VX220. It's back, beating out the Hyundai i30N, Project C in 223 and 323 configurations. Then we've got Car Park. Car Park goes to the Lotus Elise Sprint, second by the Ginetta G40, and then the Lotus Elise Sprint. Now, if I remember correctly, I think for Car Park, I'm pretty sure that the Lotus Elise and the G40 tie. I think they tie, but yeah, there you go. Those are your top 3. Moving on, Twisty Road, Lotus Elise Sprint everywhere. 323, 233, and just for the flex, 332. When I see something like this, it reminds me of when, what is it? When the 4 GTs won Le Mans like 1, 2, 3, right? It gives off the same energy. It's just dominant. Moving on, Twisty Road Dirt. I think we have a lot of Twisty Road variations coming up, I think. Twisty Road Dirt goes to the 323 Pajero Sport, which is a price car. If you can't use a price car, go for the Raider Baja. We've got Twisty Road Gravel. We've got the GMC Acadia, followed by the Buick Encore, and then the Nissan Murano Cross Cabriolet. The Cross Cabriolet doesn't win anything based off what I remember, but it does finish top 3 a couple of times, so there's that. We've got the Hairpin Road Gravel, where the GMC Acadia, once again, is the best. Nissan Murano Cross Cabriolet second, and the Skoda third. So I guess, put it this way, I believe the Skoda would have been the best if the GMC wasn't buffed and the Murano didn't come down from ultra rare. I think, yeah, that's probably what would happen. But anyway, yeah, surely, I mean, it makes sense that the 49 is the best years. But GMC Acadia is another car. If you want to use an all-surface tire super rare, the Acadia is a car to look for, I would say. It's pretty useful. Then we've got the Slalom Gravel. We've got the Suzuki Ignis. The Buick Encore is in second, and the GMC Acadia is third. Then we have G-Force Gravel. It's going to be Suzuki Ignis 1 and 2, 323 and 233, and then we have the GMC as well coming in third place. Now moving on to the next track set, we've got Hairpin Road Wet. which goes to the Caterham Super 7, which is interesting. I thought Hairpin Road Wet would be enough for the Hyundai Lefty Rouge to dethrone the Caterham. That's what I thought going into it, but that wasn't true. Comes in second place and third place as well at 323 and 233 respectively. But if you encounter a Hairpin Road Wet, just go for the Caterham Super 7, man. That's just the way to go. Slalom, again, we've got just complete dominance. 323, 233, and freaking 789. Thank you, Top Dress Records, for that one. But there you go. Once again, 3 finishes for the same car. Twisty Circuit Wet. Oh, the ever so dominant. So this was Hairpin Road. This was Twisty Circuit. Oh, interesting. Okay. I mean, I would think that Twisty Circuit and Hairpin Road are very similar, but it really seems like on Twisty Circuit, the Lefty Rouge, it's probably those straights at the start and the end. But the Hyundai Lefty Rouge, 233 is the best, 323 is second best, and then Drag Spec is third. I think it's fair to say that we know what are the best cars coming up, right? Lumbermill Twisty Circuit. Yeah, this is one that we just really do not know what the hell wins here, right? I think in the past it went to, I believe it was the Taycan. It was either the Taycan or maybe even that Ford FPV. But Lumbermill Twisty Circuit, 233 on the Vauxhall VX220, followed by 323 version, and then we've got the 233 Hyundai i30. I mean, it's fair to say that, you know, these two cars kind of operate in the same areas. It's really down to which one's a little bit better than the other. Lumbermill Forest Rally, this one's actually off-road. Raider Baja is where you want to go for, followed by the Skoda Montique and the Chevrolet Blazer ZR2. The Chevrolet Blazer ZR2, although it's RQ49, I don't think it wins anything. It's not the first place in anything. That being said, you know, this is just a general sense. If we're talking about just American super rares, the Blazer would be pretty good, you know. But yeah, in a general sense, you want to go for the Raider. Now moving on, Lumbermill River Rally. Raider stays on top, Blazer second place, Frontier Attack coming in at third. Only reason why the Frontier Attack is third is because I did have a look, and like I said, some track sets people just can't test. Right, Lumbermill River Rally, I don't think that's in the single player. So I don't think there are any times for that prize car Mitsubishi, and that's why I believe that it's not in the top 3. I feel like if someone tested that prize Mitsubishi, the white one, the Pajero, it would be top 3, maybe even first place. Anyway, Motocross Dry, here's the Pajero, it is back. It is first place at 323, followed by the Raider, and then you've got the Pajero Sport again. So I would say that honestly, these two off-roaders are probably some of the most valuable super air off-roaders right now. One thing I realized that came as a bit of a shock was that the Ford Escort didn't win a lot of the tracks that I tested. I mean, I didn't test every single track, and I've already said that at the start, I'll say it again. But I tested a lot. I mean, I tested 70 tracks. So yeah, a lot of them were more of the niche tracks though, because I feel like a lot of people know your slaloms. I have them in there too anyway. But yeah, Motocross Dirt Wet, Pajero 1 and 2. Then you got the Raider coming in third place. You got a Hairpin Road Snow. You got the Raider Baja, followed by the Pajero and the Skoda Montique, and then followed by the North Loop Relay. Okay. Once again, ladies and gentlemen, we're going back into BMW 640D territory, because this is going to be absolute dominance. Okay, so Relay 1. 233, 323, 322, 640D, sweep. North Relay 2, almost a sweep. We got the Holden HSV slowly budging in there at 332. But again, 233 goes to the 640D, 332 to the 640D. North Loop Relay 3, it's the same results. North Loop Relay 4, again, 640D. The only change is that Ford FPV GT 40th Anniversary Edition comes in at third place. North Loop Relay 5, okay, that's a little bit different. This is completely different. This is because, you know, this is a top speed based track. The BMW H2R is your winner. You got the Aston Martin DBAR1 in second place and the DBAR1 in third place, just at different tunes. And then we got the regular North Loop. Oh, that's all 640D, baby. So 323 first place, 233 second place, 332. I mean, it's poetic. It's poetic that the king of the Nürburgring for the Super Airs is one of their own, right? Anyway, moving on. Fast Circuit. Yeah, same thing. It's a 640D. This thing is crazy. It's so good. I mean, you want to get like 5 of these upgraded, all in different tunes, like 15 in total. Fast Circuit Rolling, it's the same damn story. Ocean City Streets with the Buick GNX. If you can't afford a prize car, or if you don't have the prize car, Mazda Speed Excella MS is the way to go. Now, I want to let you guys know before we move on to the next slide, literally at the bottom here for you know, the entirety of the video, I have been plugging my Instagram as well as my Patreon. So if you do like the content, you know, this takes a long time to make, feel free to please support me on the Patreon or just follow me on Instagram as well. That'd be great. Anyway, moving on to the next one. Ocean City Streets Wet. Finally, a new car. I feel like we've been seeing the same cars for like the past 70 slides. The Mitsubishi Legnum VR4 332. There you go. Chrysler 200 is up next at 332, and then you've got the 323 version of the Mitsubishi Legnum. Anyway, Ocean City Streets has always been like it's always been a drag kind of area. So 332 is the way to go. We've got like 12, 11 more track sets to go. No, we have 20. We have like 20 more track sets to go. It's been a long time with this, guys. City Streets Medium. We got the Sport Track Adrenaline, followed by the Hyundai Tucson, and then the Adrenaline again. City Streets Small Wet. The Legnum is back. So the Legnum is a pretty useful car to use. I mean, 4-wheel drive and performance tires, because it has the low 0 to 60. It's beating out, you know, the standard tire cars. Well, I mean, there's medium with the, you know, actual standard tires, but the small, you know, City Streets Small, pretty decent. So Legnum is a car that you definitely want to invest in. Audi Q4 comes in second, and the Chrysler 300 third. Then we've got Ocean Beach Slalom Wet. This one goes to the Hyundai Tucson, followed by the GMC Yukon and the Ford Explorer Track Adrenaline again. Then we have Ocean Beach Dry. This is the one where it's sand, but there's no rain. And this is where off-road tires shine a little bit more. We're finally seeing the Ford Escort Rally Spec raise its head for the first time. Citroen Visa Chrono, as well as a Nissan Violet Rally car. Moving on, Rallycross Medium Dry goes to the Raider Baja, followed by the GMC Acadia, and the Mitsubishi Raider Baja again. So it's crazy, because the off-road meta has changed a lot. Because all of the Citroens and all those front-wheel drive off-roaders, the Alphas, I think, the Fiats, they've all gone up to ultra rare, right? So this opens up the door for the Raider Baja to once again be dominant, because this thing was the meta, and it wasn't, and now it's the meta again. So we're just, I don't know, are we just going backwards? I'm not sure. Rallycross Small, even though it says it's a mixed track set, always remember, if I could give you one little piece of advice, Rallycross Small is a hoax. Do not run off-road or all surface. You're better off just running a 4-wheel drive performance tire kind of car. Sometimes even a rear-wheel drive. I'm pretty sure one of the best rare cars for the Rallycross Small is just the Dodge Demon Roadster, which is like a rear-wheel drive performance tire car. But the Hyundai Lefty Rouge is good. 223, clean sweep. Hill Climb. Okay, some different cars here. The Mercedes G500 Cabriolet. Then we have the Mitsubishi Evolution and the Skoda Enyaq. Now, again, the sample size for this track set was a little bit limited. I believe that if anyone has a Mitsubishi E-Evolution at 332, it would beat the Mercedes. I think it would. I genuinely think it would. So, anyway, just letting you know. If you got it 332, that might be the new winner. But according to Top Drive's records, no one has a time for a 322 of that. So the Mercedes-Benz G500 takes the cake. Now, Hill Climb Dirt Wet. You gotta use that all-surface tires, I guess, for this one. You can't use the performance tire ones. G500 stays on top, followed by the Dodge T-Rex 6x6 Hill Climb Gravel. I've got the GMC Yukon taking the cake. Hill Climb Sand is the G500 again. So again, this is a useful car to use for that one track set. Hill Climb is this car's niche. Hill Climb Snow is up next. G500 stays on top, followed by the Dodge T-Rex 6x6 and the Lamborghini LM002. Hill Climb Dry Asphalt is the Lamborghini Miura Roadster at 332, followed by the 323 version, and then the freaking Buick Blackhawk is back again, even beating the regular Miura. That's crazy. And then here, there you go, 1 mile, half mile, quarter mile. I'm gonna put it all together because the results are all the damn same. Miura Roadster is the premier dragster once again. I really feel like we're going back. It's not really like a new car is meta. This car was meta, then it went out of the meta, and now it's meta again. We're just going back to the future. I mean, I'm not back to the future, but we're just going back. And then, okay, Test Bowl. Oh, oops, yeah, Test Bowl. Plymouth Superbird 332. Second place, BMW H2R, and then the Miura Roadster coming in at third place. I mean, this kind of makes sense, looking at the top speeds. BMW H2R just has no MRA. Superbird just has a little bit more MRA, that's about it. Canyon Tour goes to the Vauxhall VX220. Now, Vauxhall VX220 233 version is invaluable, but for Canyon Tour, 323 is the way to go. So just remember that. 323, 322, 233. Canyon Tour Wet, Lefty Rouge, followed by the Tarmac. Hairpin Road, Infiniti Q60, 223, 322, and 323. We've got about like 4 more track sets, I think. Ocean Highway with the Pontiac Solstice at 332. I did not know that the Ocean Highway was a drag, kind of track set, but I guess it is because 322 is sweeping it across the board. So if you really want to be the king of the ocean highway, then you will have to specialist spec the Pontiac Solstice. I'm pretty sure 332 Pontiac Solstice isn't going to win anything else besides this. Ocean parking lot, we've got the Los Angeles Sprint. That's back again with the Ginetta G40R. Give that guy a break, man. G40R is not winning anything, is it, with the Los Angeles Sprint? They're both British as well. Speed bump. I want to say that this is the last track set. Yeah, it is. Okay, yeah, I remember. All right, there we go. Last track says speed bump half kilometer. I also wanted to include speed bump 1 kilometer, but there weren't enough cars to even, the sample size was too small. Plymouth Superbird is the winner here. Hemi Cuda is in second, and the Mercedes E500 comes in third. I think this is a pretty interesting track set because it's a drag that also utilizes medium ground clearance. But that's about it. Anyway, if there was anything to take away, if there was anything that I wanted you guys to remember, if you had to just narrow it down to 12 cars for you to fully upgrade, because obviously the meta's changing, we're looking for new cars to fully upgrade. These are the ones that you want to go for. GMC, Mitsubishi Raider Baja. Take this as Blossom Choice Light, for example. Vauxhall VX220, the Infiniti, the Hyundai Elise, the Kingdom Super 7, BMW 640D. These are the cars that you want to look out for and keep around in your garage. Obviously, there were other winners as well that were highlighted in today's video that isn't in the top 12. Like I said, this is just a summary. It's a very short summary. There are other cars that I did not list here, which you definitely want to collect as well. But, like maybe the Blazer ZR2, for example. That's not too bad. What else is, Pontiac Solstice, pretty decent as well. Black Hawk is always great. T-Rex. I mean, remember, these are the top 3. Right? So, all of these cars are a great bet. And of course, the Ford Escort Rally Spec that you see here is a really good car to have as well. But anyway, guys, that's going to be it for today. If you found this video super helpful, please feel free to like the video, comment down below if you want me to do one for like Ultra Rare or something like that, or do another super rare part for the other tracks that I didn't cover. Feel free to let me know as well. But anyway, guys, that's going to be it for today. Hope you guys have a great day and stay safe, wash your hands, and blossom out. Peace.
Bro, this song just makes me so happy.
Me too.
Imagine being Asian in the 50s, looking nifty, leather jacket, looking sleek, look like Presley, look so deadly, got a jukebox back at home, feeling jazzy, turn it on and play it slow, like the movies with the ladies.
They so fine.
Imagine being Asian in the 50s, looking nifty, leather jacket, looking sleek, look like Presley, look so deadly, got a jukebox back at home, feeling jazzy, turn it on and play it slow, like the movies with the ladies.
They so fine.
Sit back, relax in my Bonneville Pontiac. Hold